Hello, my friends. Derek here from Bomb Socks, back with another week of Bomb Bites, where we feast upon the words of Christ, one bite at a time. So this week we're spending our time largely in Luke chapter 22. Luke chapter 22 is a phenomenal, wonderful, long chapter, and there's a lot of stuff in it that is very heavy. It's very intense, and there's a lot of messy situations. There's a lot of complicated situations in this chapter, but hopefully we're going to spend some time this week and be able to help some of these things become more meaningful to you. Even as we start off this chapter, there is some messiness here as we are introduced and really getting into the mind of Judas Iscariot. So verse number 2, it says, "The chief priests and scribes sought how they might kill him," meaning Jesus Christ, "for they feared the people." Boy, the things that Jesus had been teaching got the people to the point where they are not listening as much to the scribes and the Pharisees and the chief priests. So in their mind, the answer is to kill Jesus. Verse 3 is a complicated verse. "Then entered Satan into Judas, surnamed Iscariot, being of the number of the 12. And he went his way and communed with the chief priests and captains, how he might betray him unto them. And they were glad and covenanted to give him money. And he promised and sought opportunity to betray him unto them in the absence of the multitude." Now, Judas, like I said, is a complicated character, and I am not a Judas apologist by any stretch of the imagination, but I wish I knew more about him. I wish I knew more about his background. I wish I knew more about what was going through his mind, what led up to this moment, because I really don't think that Satan just enters into righteous people. And Judas, being one of the members of the quorum of the 12, special witnesses of Jesus Christ, his closest circle of friends right there, I don't think Satan just comes right in and just says, "Oh, hey, I'm going to pick you." Certain things need to be going on in order for Satan to jump into a righteous person. So how does Satan's influence get into someone who once was righteous? I think there is something, again, there's not a lot here, but what is here is fairly instructive. You look at that verse number 4, "He went his way and communed with the chief priests and captains." Communed, the footnote says the Greek is talked or conferred. The word commune really means to spend time with. You are living with, and you're taking your time being with those individuals. And so the longer you spend time with those individuals, it starts wearing off on you. I remember seeing a quote somewhere where it says that you and I are the sum of the 5 of the closest people who we spend our time with. Again, I don't know the scientific background on that, but who you spend time with does make a difference. So what then is the lesson for you and I today? I remember seeing a quote from President Spencer W. Kimball years ago, where he said, "Great care should be taken to use judgment in the selection of those whose company you keep. The peer group should not take precedence over the family, but should be a complement to it or completion of it." And here's a hard statement. "A poor peer group can in days undo years of work by a fine family." I think there's a lot of people out there that can relate to that in the sense of raising a family. So I wonder at what point Judas started drifting away from the family, meaning, the quorum of the 12, and maybe he had some doubts, maybe he had some struggles with what was going on, and started spending time with other doubters. President Nelson has counseled us against that, how when you're having those doubts, don't start rehearsing them with other doubters. And maybe that's where this situation came in, where the chief priests and scribes saw kind of a weak link in there with Judas, maybe someone who was frustrated. Maybe he started rehearsing some of his doubts with them, which is why President Nelson, again, I've mentioned this before, how he has said to us and invited us to spend more time, much more time, in places where the Spirit is present. That means more time with friends who are seeking to have the Spirit with them. Boy, what great counsel there. Spend more time on your knees in prayer, more time in the scriptures, more time in family history work, more time in the temple. I promise you that as you consistently give the Lord a generous portion of your time, he will multiply the remainder. Great counsel from our prophet there. And so again, I'd love to know what happened to Judas that got him to this point. So I think the lesson there for you and I is to really make sure that great care is taken in who we spend our time with, what we listen to, what we spend our time doing, and make sure that it is Spirit directed, because that can make all the difference in the world. And I think that's most likely what made the difference in Judas's life as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks as always for sharing. We are so grateful that you do that. And please check out our amazingly comfortable gospel themed socks at bombsocks.com. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Godspeed. Bye-bye.